Settle down. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much to the Ropetackle, and to Tom and Amy and Moira and Simon and the whole crew for having us. We're about to watch a live podcast recording. Who's ever heard the Alexei podcast before? Okay, that's the enthusiasm it deserves. Who's never listened to it? Yeah, bit more energy in those folks, isn't there? Why are you here? Fans of Alexei, I suppose, yes? What to expect? We have no script, no plan, no nothing, all right? He's going to come out and we're going to talk. And then at some point, when we've got bored of each other, we're going to turn to you for questions, okay? So start thinking about any questions you want to ask Alexei. Yeah, sound good? Great. After the show, we'll be out there in the bar area doing a little meety-greety, also sweetie. And Alexei will sign pictures for you for a small donation to medical aid for Palestinians. Does that sound okay? Sound all right? Shall we bring him out? Please welcome to the stage, Alexei Sayle! Oh, that's loud, baby. Feel the bass. Feel the bass. Feel the bass. Whoa. All right, cut it, Simon. Thank you.
All kinds of gravity in here.
Hello, Alexei. Adjust that mic as much as you like. Get it to the...
I'll do.
That's fine. Great. Welcome back in Shoreham.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back in Shoreham. Actually, well, yeah. I'll be working on these. We started off. I was working on this Andy Burnham. Well, he singed them in the microwave, and then, and then I thought, getting the train here, Littlehampton. No, it's quite average size, really. Turnham Green. Yeah, it doesn't do him any good. Piston broke.
Piston broke.
Hampton Court. Now tight underpants. Yeah, so Littlehampton.
Shoreham-on-Sea. Surely there's something there,
I don't
right?
know. It's
not so
quite,
Shoreham.
no.
Shoreham-on-Sea. I'm not so certain,
Yeah.
actually. Something like that?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a very... it's an odd kind of dynamic in a way, doing a live podcast, because usually we just sit and chat, don't we? Over kind of
like a Zoom-ish
over
call.
Zoom, yeah. So it's it's a kind of free flowing. But to do it live, to be faced with a live audience who are inevitably disappointed, really, but in the lethargic interaction, especially. So I haven't really prepared. Well, I was talking on the last podcast, the one before, with Andy Burnham, that he wasn't the first mayor who
became leader of the
Labour Party. He there was a guy called George Lansbury who'd been mayor of Poplar in the 30s and became leader of the Labour Party. And the interesting things was that George Lansbury was the grandfather of Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote. Yeah, it's amazing. But also, so I was in this cinema in London called the Garden Cinema, which is a very nice independent cinema in Covent Garden. And I saw a woman came to the bar, and it was Claire Short. Yeah, Claire's still alive. And, probably a politician of rare kind of moral character, really, because she really stood up to Blair over the Iraq War. Anyway, she ordered something from the bar. But I then subsequently found out that Claire Short is actually the cousin of the American comedian Martin Short.
No way.
Well, Canadian comedian Martin Short, yeah. Martin Short, because there's a film on Netflix at the moment, Life is Short, I think, made by his friend Lawrence Kasdan. And of course, Martin Short also went on tour, I think, with Steve Martin playing the banjo. And a friend of mine actually got me tickets to see Steve Martin playing the banjo at Manchester Apollo. And it was two of the worst hours of my life. Fucking hell, Jesus. fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck off with your fucking banjo, Steve.
Like, there's a reason you're famous, and that's not it, is
it? It was so awful. But of course, I did know Steve. I actually met Steve Martin because he was a fan of the comic strip films, and I met him, and he just he actually was at the time we went to Italian restaurant, but he was deeply traumatized because he'd just done Waiting for Godot on Broadway with Robin Williams. And Robin had managed to restrain himself for about 2 nights. And then the 3rd night, he was off the stage going through women's handbags, doing his fucking shtick, doing his bits and all that. Poor old fucking Steve is sitting there in character, staying in the play.
Yeah.
And Robin's off around the audience.
Like, Tampax, what are you doing with this?
He couldn't actually say the words, Robin Williams. He couldn't.
Oh, wow.
So he just had to say that guy I was in the play with. He couldn't say the words, Robin Williams. But also, apropos of that I've been delaying telling an anecdote about Robin Williams, haven't I, for weeks. Every week I get to it, and then I'll say, I'm not going to tell it this week. So, but I will, seeing as these are good people at Shoreham, I will give you a treat. The Robin Williams used to come to the comic strip club quite often, really. Well, the first time he turned up was at the Comedy Store. He'd been making Popeye, directed by Robert Altman in Malta. And he got in a cab at Liverpool, Heathrow, and said, "Take me to a comedy club." Of course, there was only one comedy club in London then, which was there was only one kind of American-style comedy club, which was the Comedy Store. So
is that in the old days when it was the old strip club
in the Gargoyle? Yeah. I mean, he was lucky that he must have got a hip taxi driver because he could have ended up at the Circus Tavern in Purfleet, fucking Jim Davis. Oh
my God, what would he have done with Robin?
I know, yeah. I mean, so anyway, he turned up at the Comedy Store and it was amazing. But so he used to come to the comic strip. And one night I think we must have been making the comic strip movie. We had a film crew in it. And if we went out past midnight, we would get into horrendous overtime or something like that.
Unions.
Something like that. Yeah. So anyway, Robin turns up. And I said, look, you can't do, because you used to do like an hour or so. I said, you can't do your usual hour because we're going to horrendous overtime. He said, I've got Mick Jagger with me. I mean, that was like a red rag to a bull to me, I was like, I don't give a fuck who you've got with you. You're not doing an hour. So, and then he said, I'll buy the club. I said, I was owned by some fucking pornographer. You can't buy the club. So fair enough. He went on and did 15 minutes. And this is absolutely true. He came off stage and did the rest of his act to me in a fucking corridor. I was going, so I've got Robin Williams going 3 feet away from me doing that and did 45 fucking minutes and 2 encores.
I'll be right back. And he goes off.
No. So yeah, I've actually had Robin Williams performing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he was so compulsive about.
And did he ever sit and watch your act?
I don't know. I can't remember. He used to turn up quite late, really. I certainly watched his act because I pinched a lot of stuff from him. So, he was a tremendous inspiration, really. And I couldn't at first figure out how he did it, really. Because I don't know if any of you have seen his Robin stand-up act, but I mean, I couldn't figure out how he did it. And so I just watched him. I mean, it was a real privilege to watch him over and over again. And what I realized in the end was that he actually had
cocaine.
He had that, yeah. Because that's the other. Yeah, no, I won't tell that story.
Popeye.
That's another Robin Williams story. I don't know.
He had?
He had like 3 hours of material.
Right.
And what he used to do, we used to rotate it. He'd do an hour from that 3 hours of material in his head.
Pick and mix.
He'd
style.
do different, I just thought was extraordinary. So he was a real tremendous influence on me, I think. Yeah.
You know that game, like the 6 Degrees, Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of separation?
Yeah.
Or 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, yeah.
And then, like, ever since working with you, I've just got 2 degrees between me and some incredible people. And you're 1 degree away, obviously.
Well, my Kevin Bacon score is 1 because I was in a movie with Jason Patrick. Jason Patrick was in a movie with Kevin Bacon, so...
Well, that's 2.
No, it's 1.
No. You, then Jason, then Kevin.
Yeah.
You can't just say whatever.
I don't
it's
count
maths.
as 1.
No, it's not
I'm
1.
0. I know. I worked with Jason Patrick.
That's 1.
Jason Patrick with Kevin Bacon.
2.
Oh.
Sorry, you can't change maths.
You might be right. Yeah. Yeah.
My cousin used to do that on the tube, and he'd be like, "We're 2 stops away." We go, "No, that's 1 stop away." And it's like, "No, it's exactly what you just fucking did," and you used to infuriate us. What do you mean 1 stop? It's 2 stops. And he's the same. I should get you 2 together.
Sounds like a great guy.
What's the Robin Williams cocaine story?
Well,
do you want to save it for next year?
No. I'll keep teasing. Well, I think I went out to Los Angeles to make my fortune. So I signed a 7-year contract and was back in a month, I think. That's that story to tell about. I made. Well, when B. Arthur left the Golden Girls, I actually replaced her, and I signed a contract for 7 years. And just before I went, I've talked about this before, but I was offered an episode of the series Lovejoy, and so I thought, well, fuck it, I'm going to America for 7 years minimum. It doesn't matter what kind of performance I give. So I did this performance in Lovejoy, which is the worst performance on British television. And it was called Lovejoy in the Napoleonic Commode. Yeah. And Lovejoy buys a portable toilet, supposedly Napoleon was. I can't remember. I'm Freddie the Phone, I think is my character. I'm going, go blimey, Lovejoy! 20 grand for a cozy! And they used to show it sometimes on ITV3, and I was back in time to see it go out anyway, because I got fired from the Golden Girls. So hubris. But so the Robin Williams. So I went out, stayed at the Chateau, place called the Chateau Marmont in 1990, and. They said, "Oh, we've upgraded you to a bungalow," but the weird the bungalow numbering system went like 1, 2, 2B, 4. So I can't remember. It was weird. Anyway, we went for a walk on Sunset Boulevard.
Is that where you learned how to play the Kevin Bacon game?
And you're bitter, aren't you? Bitter sidekick. So we went for a walk in the early evening on Sunset Boulevard, and there was one person off in the distance, a tiny figure. I said, I bet they're British. When we got up to them, it was Billy Bragg.
You can tell from a silhouette if they're British.
Yeah, well, because nobody else walks in LA. It was not.
Right. I see. Yeah.
Bizarrely, I also came out of the hotel one day and found them making an episode of Inspector Wexford, if you remember that, on Hollywood Boulevard. Anyway, so I said, our bungalow's got a weird number. Now, John Belushi had overdosed in a bungalow in the Chateau Marmont. That's where he died. And there was a whole load of people who were supposed to be there who covered, like Spielberg was supposed to be. Well, like Spielberg was supposed to be there. Ronald Reagan.
At the same time?
Goldie Hawn. They were all in the taking coke with John Belushi. Obviously, I'm making some
Oh,
of that.
right.
And John Landis. And anyway,
Bacon as
so
well.
it was. That was the. So he died in one of the bungalows, and in fact, it was our bungalow, but they called it two. Anyway, I said to Billy Bragg, I wonder if our bungalow was the one where John Belushi died in. And there was a note for me. He left the next day saying, yes, it was 2B, bungalow 2B. So we stayed in the bungalow where John Belushi died.
So it's kind of a cursed bungalow.
Yeah,
which is why you got
everybody was there. Everybody was there. Roy Keane.
Claire Short, I think.
Claire Short was there, yeah. Andy Burnham. He put him under the grill.
Oh, good. But Robin was not. Maybe Robin.
Oh, yeah, Robin was there as well.
Right.
Yeah. That's I don't know whether we can broadcast this story,
Jeez.
really. But, everybody was there. Everybody. Yeah.
Princess Margaret.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get a laugh.
No.
Yeah. That's why that's why it's my podcast. No.
Boy George was there.
Oh, fucking Boy George. Have you heard that fucking, what a cunt. I mean, fucking hell. I actually did Radio 1 round table with Boy George in 1981 or something. I remember when my taxi pulled up and there was young girls thought it was Boy George in the cab. Pulled the door open and then said, "Oh, it's Alexei Sayle and made retching noises." So I've had a beef against him ever since. But one of the things that it's done is that story that, where he was sent to prison because he tied a male prostitute to a radiator.
And forced him to listen to his music. I heard someone say.
Yes.
And
that sort of story's actually resurfaced. He'd actually had that scraped from the internet, but it's people have been gleefully sharing it again. I don't know. He's such a fucking idiot. I mean.
So you never worked with him or featured on one of his songs?
No, well, apart from Radio 1 Roundtable, no. I remember I gave Wham! Rap a bad review, which I feel guilty about.
Yeah.
But George Michael was nice.
Yes.
He was a nice man.
Very nice.
Unlike
people are doing a lot of comparisons between him and George Michael now.
Yeah, no, so I met him a few times. I mean, I did a miners' benefit. I mean, this is typical of the fucking left. He actually did a miners' benefit during the miners' strike. He did a benefit at the Queen Elizabeth Hall, and the crowd booed, or some of the crowd booed him because he was miming. I was like, you fucking humorless lefty shitbags. I thought, he's miming.
Did he think
and McCall's playing live? Yeah, but he's shit.
he might be?
I know Ewan McCall's son, so I might have edited that out as well.
Don't give him more work to do.
So, talking about Murder, She Wrote. Angela Lansbury because I want to lay him. I also did an episode of Marple. Yeah, you can see that also on ITV3. Cool, but actually, I'm really good in it. But it was with Joan. I had a scene with Joan Collins, and I told her all about Marxism, and she was fascinated. Yeah. They call the mirror cracked. It's called. And also Brian Cox is in it. I remember going on about how Frasier had gone really shit when Daphne's family turns up in season 9. Then I remember that he played her father.
Awkward. Boy George's, back to him, his songs, they're all AI now as well. He doesn't even fucking sing or record.
Sound like him.
He puts prompts into his laptop. For his last few albums, he's proudly bragged that
Really?
he's used AI to write and record. It's not even his fucking voice on them. Because I guess you can't sit down and passionately write a song about how great Israel is. It'd be very difficult, even for a corrupt soul like his. So he has to just force.
I thought
It made me feel
his
bad for
voice.
AI
Yeah.
that he forced it to do that. You know what I mean? Felt bad for ChatGPT and stuff.
Well, yeah.
Fundraiser for them.
Didn't one of them break out the other week and hack one of its rivals or something?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll use this platform to promote something. If you really, really feel impulsed to use an AI, there's one called Thawra, which means revolution in Arabic. Yeah, Thaura. It's run by 2 Syrian refugees, and they claim, and I tend to believe that they are trying to create an ethical alternative to AI, and any energy or carbon that's used, what's the word that they use? They offset it big time, and all the money goes to the right places. So if you are compelled to use an AI, try Thawra.ai out. Send me some money as well, Thawra, please, when you hear this. Just because it's just, I don't know if any of your friends have just started using AI just as a go-to. When you ask them a simple question, I'll ask ChatGPT, and they just have it on their phone. And I can't understand when that shift happened. Like, what's wrong with Google? You know, that's bad enough, you know? And like, now they're using ChatGPT to organize their lives and shit. And it's like, one day we are just going to be sentient blobs on the phone asking AI to do everything for us. And have you got anything? Can you interrupt me at all with anything?
I, for one, welcome our robot overlords.
Oh, really?
I mean, anybody here for our last week live podcast recording? Is this worse or better than the... It's better. It's all right. It's about the same. Good.
Man, you've done a lot of shit, lots of TV stuff, man, and just
a lot of, yeah.
It's I was remembering the one fucking TV show I did a few years ago. I played a Hezbollah general. We shot in like an airfield out in Surrey, and I had to there was some Iranian, somebody who worked for the Ayatollah coming off a helicopter, and I had to tell him what's going on, and then I run off and jump in a Jeep. And the Jeep zooms away, and it was quite a cool thing to film. And I did a nice hop over the side of the Jeep into the car. I was pretty chuffed myself. And it was called Flight 411. And it was about this Kuwaiti flight that gets hijacked.
Oh, yeah. The British Airways.
They shot the whole series. And then they put the first episode on the telly. Yeah. And then all the family of the victims, it was for Arabic telly, for NBC. All the family of victims just emailed NBC saying, what the fuck is this? Why didn't anyone tell us this is happening? We completely don't give you permission to use our families. And they just axed the whole show after one episode.
Just your luck, really.
And
was it before you were on, or?
I didn't air. I didn't make it to air at all.
Yeah.
And that was my big shot, you know? I was wondering if anything you've done has been axed.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, most things. I was in this.
Most things.
A lot of stuff. I was in this American series for Fox called Keen Eddie.
Oh, yeah.
Which is it's a really bad idea that keeps coming up about a US cop who comes over to London and then is asked to stay behind by Scotland Yard. And there's always jokes, you guys drive on the left. Ah! A lot of hilarious observations like that. There was one a few years ago at Rob Lowe called Wild Bill, in which he's an American cop called Bill Braxton, who ends up in Boston, Lincolnshire.
Some admin error.
Yeah, I don't know. It was on ITV. I think they actually pulled it. But I was in this thing, Keen Eddie. We made it was again. I was one of the series regulars, and it was we made. I was signed. Again, it was pay or play, so I didn't care. But I was signed to do 7 episodes. And we made the pilot, and then we made episode 2. And then I said, bye, I'll see you on Monday. And then the car never came for me again. and it was, I think in the end, they got me back for episode 11, just as a kind of really expensive extra, just to point at things and stuff. But I sort of write about, I've got a book coming out in September which is called How I've Tried to Change the World by Walking Down the Middle of the Street Shouting. And it's about demonstrations. It takes a demonstration from each decade of my life, since I've been going on demonstrations since I was a baby, with my parents, obviously. And but I talk about Keen Eddie a bit, because I think the reason that they fired me was not because I was acting badly, because they bought me in the pilot, so the Fox were happy with that. It was because I sort of write about belief, really, because I mean, in a sense, it's valid, but you know, when you do a play or make a movie or something, everybody has to believe that it's the best.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I remember it was Julian Ryan taught me, and he was one of the principals.
You mean like everyone on set? Everyone there.
And in the I remember he had one of the producers saying, "We're reinventing the wheel here," and I thought, well, how the fuck are you? Anyway, the reason I was fired, I think, was because people would go, "This is the greatest thing that would ever be made," and I go, "Well, yeah, I suppose so." And they fired me because for lack of believeration. Really, it wasn't that I was the best thing in it in many ways, but they fired me because I didn't show conspicuous belief. And it also a young actress in her first role called Sienna Miller was that was her big break. Anyway, they cancelled it they pulled it after 4 episodes in the States. I thought, well, fuck you. But I got paid for 7 episodes, so I didn't give a shit, really. So, but yeah.
My mate, I'm not going to name him, but he's a composer for film and TV, makes soundtracks, and he's working on a very difficult program at the moment. And they asked him, unironically, what if we made the best score ever? One remembered for decades. One remembered for decades. Just as a request, as a note from the execs.
That's the kind of shit they say. And you kind of, I mean, in a way, you kind of, you know, I mean, I suppose they have, I mean, Americans are much worse for that than people in Britain. But I mean, they have, you know, I guess they have to get themselves into that state where they have to say shit like that, really. Oh, yeah. And it was just, I mean, it was garbage, really, Keen Eddie.
So when you were walking around the Napoleon Commode set, were you like, I'm going to do a shit performance? Were you like being upfront about
I can't. I can't remember. I think. I remember the cameraman kind of going like the force of my. I don't know. They didn't seem to mind at the time. Really, I don't know. It was,
I think it's a very American thing to be very sincere about everything you're doing. You know?
Yeah.
I'm curious about this protest you went to as a baby. Would that have been in the 60s?
50s.
50s. What would it have been a protest?
Well, I write about
what's a taste
books available for pre-order. I write about a demonstration from each decade. The first the first demonstration I would have gone on would have been with my parents, would have been Ban the Bomb. So in the 50s.
Nice, just straight up.
Thing was though, because my parents were in the Communist Party, they didn't really want, they just wanted the Americans not to have the bomb. They actually wanted the Soviets to have the bomb. In fact, they called it in our house, they called it the People's Bomb. The Soviets. They were quite happy for the Soviets to have. They just wanted the United States to give up their bomb, really. So, and then then I think the second demonstration in the 60s was the Cuban Missile Crisis. And, the Cuban Missile Crisis, was genuinely the time when people were afraid that nuclear Armageddon was actually
on the cusp.
It was. People were genuinely afraid, except in our house. Really, now I was always like a weird kid at school. I because my parents were in the Communist Party. I remember more or less the first day of primary school when the teacher said, "All right, class, let's put our hands together and thank God for the milk." And I said, "No, Miss Wilson, the milk comes from the milk marketing board." It's just a semi-autonomous, which keeps the milk prices high in order to oppress the working class. So everybody was like all terrified, and I was all like, anyway, because my mother and father took me aside and said that in fact the Cuban Missile Crisis was a plot by Mr. Khrushchev to get the Americans, because the Americans had just put nuclear missiles along the Russian border in Turkey. And it was a bluff to get the Americans to take their missiles away. And also, for the Americans had just tried to invade Cuba at the Bay of Pigs. And it was also a plot to get Kennedy to say the United States to say they'd never try and invade Cuba again. And so I was, I believed that everything was fixed. I'm like, everybody's going, "Oh God, we're going," I'm going, smiling and singing and stuff. And it turns out they were right, really. I mean, my parents were actually, I think historians now say that it was actually a clever ploy by Khrushchev. And that's why Kennedy was killed by Cuban exiles. Or Mossad. I mean, it's usually Mossad, isn't it? So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was, that was the second kind of demonstration I went on.
The second one.
Well, that's the second one in the book, anyway.
No. It's a brilliant premise for a book, Alexei.
It is. Oh, thank you. It is. Yeah, it's a brilliant fucking book. It's a fucking nightmare to write.
Intertwining history and a personal history and world history
and social history,
and socialism and all into one, and comedy and humor in there as well.
Yeah. It's very funny in parts.
It's for listeners at home, there is a link in the podcast description to pre-order your copy of How I Tried to Change the World by Walking Down the Street.
Middle of the street, shouting. There's also a link to join our Patreon. Head to patreon.com/alexeisaylepodcast to join the Patreon and support the show. Please, just for a few pounds a month. Sorry, audience, but I have to do this because this is also going out to the podcast listeners. Bear with. Lots of exclusive content on there. And that's patreon.com/alexeisaylepodcast. Shall we get some questions from our lovely audience? I think we should, yeah. Now we're warmed up. Now we're motoring. Now things are happening. Shit be happening.
We got our glamorous assistant Moira, who's just heading to the back to grab a roaming mic. And so if you have a question for Alexei, first one up here in the third row, put your lovely example there. Put your hand up in the air, nice and clear for Moira to see, and she'll head over to you. Keep your hand up there so Moira can find you. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Yes.
So, Alexei, what was your favourite demonstration?
My favourite demonstration? That's an interesting question. When they're always kind of shit, aren't they? Really? I mean, they're always. In a way, I think I've more or less been on every Gaza demonstration that there's been. There is a tremendous. They're both upsetting and inspiring at the same time. Really, I think that the best people in the world, really. In many ways, people who go on those demonstrations, I know, obviously traduced as being, hate marches and stuff like that. So, I mean, the Gaza demonstrations have been, I mean, both depressing and inspiring at the same time, really. I mean, I thought, I mean, my mum wouldn't let me go on the 68, the famous Vietnam War demonstration of 68. My mum wouldn't let me go on the really violent one, but I went on the October one in 68, and that turned quite violent just where I was. And it was so thrilling. I saw what people got out of kind of football violence, that it was very exciting to be in an angry mob. So that in many ways, that was my favorite, I guess, really. Yeah. But yeah, thank you. It's an interesting question. I should think about that, really. I mean, and also the Iraq War in 2003. I mean, there's so many people, I mean, it was just so many people, it was staggering, really.
It's an interesting mix of feelings that, like, you're proud of everyone for being here, but then, like, what the fuck are they doing to make us do this?
They go ahead, do what they want anyway, really. So it's a complex mix of emotions, really. And I mean, that's also what the book is about in a way, that it is both, that's what I've spent my life doing, that's what is going on these marches and essentially being ignored. And where's the lesson in that? What does that tell you, really? It's a very complicated kind of story, really. I mean, it's about what it means to be on the left, really. I mean, to have been on the left your entire. I don't think I put it in the book in the end, but I just thought, it's also weird. I mean, as an entertainer, I've got this weird, this kind of to be a Marxist, but to go so far in showbiz. I remember getting asked to appear in a benefit for Help for Heroes and Stop the War in the same week. I think I did neither, but it was. I mean, to be an entertainer while being unapologetically a kind of Marxist is also, it's a weird career path that I don't think anybody else will ever have trod before or after.
Yeah.
But
you're only seeing it now in the depths of where Israel have gone with this genocide. Now you're finally seeing, the bare minimum amount of celebrities.
Yeah.
Like A-listers who are finally speaking out.
Yeah.
And, sacrificing so much, but they still got their fucking mansions to go back to.
Yeah. Well, so have I. But I mean...
But it's been so rare. It's been so rare to see any celebrities be political up until today, really.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a degree of courage, I think. I mean, I never had a choice in it, really. That was who, and I tried to sell out, but it was always, I would always fuck it up,
When I was a teenager, I went to a heavy metal festival indoors, one stage. No, there was two stages, and they booked Kelly Osbourne to play. And so a bunch of people went in protest to the Kelly Osbourne show and chucked bottles of piss at her.
Stop it. Why?
And water. Well, if you like real heavy metal music and they book Kelly Osbourne to be on a main stage. And then at one point, I didn't throw anything. I was just a child. At one point, she goes, "Hey, douchebags, you keep throwing water up here. We're going to get electrocuted." And then there was just hundreds and hundreds. That was my favorite protest. Any other questions for Alexei? Up here at the front, over here. Oh, there's going to the back first, and we'll come to you next. Okay. There's one at the back there, and then Moira, one on the second row over here next, please. Thank you.
Hi, Alexei.
Hello.
Just wondered if you were at Saturday morning pictures of feeling a bit frisky.
I don't know where this is going, but yeah.
Would you rather discover you were sitting next to Boy George or Roy Hattersley.
You're working out your question as you ask it, aren't you? You didn't know where that was going to go. Saturday morning pictures. You know, I tell this. You know, I always, you know, because my parents were communists, I always felt. I yearned in a way to be one of the crowd. And our local cinema, the Gaumont one, when I was about 5 or 6, Snow White, Bambi came to the Gaumont, and all the kids went and were going to go in a big gang. My mother wouldn't let me go, but she realized that I was missing out on a significant kind of social occasion. So instead, we went to see Sergei Eisenstein's Alexander Nevsky. My mother had been worried that I'd be traumatized by the scene, you know, where Bambi's mother is killed by hunters. In Alexander Nevsky, there's a scene on the lake where the Teutonic Knights charge across, and then the lake, and then the ice cracks, and the Teutonic Knights are dragged under the water. You see them all drowning. And I mean, again, it's that story of being on the left. It's of being the outsider. I'm the kid who saw Alexander Nevsky rather than fucking Bambi. I've never seen Bambi, and I'm too frightened to see it now, really, because it'd be too. I've never seen Alien either, because I think it'd be too frightening. But David Rennick, who I wrote stuff with, he watched Alien backwards because he could get a tape then, and he watched, so he wasn't frightened by the thing.
My dad went to see Alien in the cinema on his own when it came out, and he was like a new in London. He's like, oh, the technology, the amazement of the big city. And then the chest burster scene happened, and he vomited and passed out. Me and Linda went to see, I think it was the first Rambo film. And I looked around in the cinema, and I said, that bloke there, so this pop-eyed kind of bloke sitting there, a couple of other guys. I said, Linda, that bloke over there, that's Wally Jumblatt, leader of the Druze militia in the Shuf Mountains. This was during the Lebanese Civil War. And she said, you're always saying that. I said, no, it is. I went over to him. I said, are you Wally Jumblatt, leader of the Druze militia in the Shuf Mountains of Lebanon? And he said, yeah. I said, what did you think of the film? He said it was all right. I could beat that. I
would know who else would have. You see, that's another thing. It'd be like, who else in that fucking cinema in the West End would have recognised Wally Jumblatt?
No one.
Nobody, apart from me.
I can top that, I think. I've kissed Chemical Ali. From the Iraq War.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Shall I explain, or shall I just leave that there? my dad used
Grindr. It's a terrible website.
I ain't snogging, but my, the Arabs, when you greet each other,
yeah,
well, you kiss on each cheek. And then my dad was like, that's Chemical Ali. It was in Abu Dhabi.
This was after the war.
Yeah. I was an adult, I think, a young adult. Oh my God.
Fucked up, yo.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I'm not going to explain any further. I did want to tell a quick story about Spitting Airs. Was Rick Mail in Spitting Airs?
I don't know what that is.
That film, Spitting Airs?
I don't know what that is.
No one remembers it, but it's stuck in my head because of, it's fucking Eric Idle. And Rick Moranis.
I'm looking for a new sidekick.
Eric Idle, Rick Moranis. Anyway, when I was 6, my sister took me to the cinema. She actually was stuck with babysitting me. And so her and her mate really wanted to see Spitting Airs in the cinema.
Right.
And they were like, fuck, I have to look after this little shit. And so my sister put on a big trench coat. And I was like hiding behind her inside the coat. And she went to the box office and went, 2 tickets for Spitting Airs. Spitting Airs was a 12. And I was 6.
Right, yeah.
2 tickets for Spitting Airs, please. And the guy was like, sure. And then as she turned from the box office, we'd choreographed this.
Yeah.
I would slip round to the front so that she could walk down the corridor to the screen. And anyone from behind would only see these 2 teenage girls, yeah? And then they just heard a voice halfway down the corridor of my little voice going, but I'm not 12. Excuse me, come back here. And then my sister made her friend take me to go see Jungle Book while she went to see Spitting Airs.
I have no idea what Spitting Airs is. I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's a 1993 comedy film starring Eric Idle, Rick Moraff. Yeah, okay. We got another question here in the second row, please, Moira. Oh, you've got the mic already. Nice.
Could I ask 2 questions?
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, how do the both of you feel about the division on the left at this current time in politics?
Uh-huh.
And the second is not as interesting. What are your favourite films?
Okay.
Well, I mean, I thought I was really excited. I thought we'd seen the last of the Labour Party really with, with Starmer. I mean, people hated Starmer so much, and the Labour Party was in such a disarray really, and then they find a way to come back, and it's like some terrible thing that will never go away. That I truly believe the Labour Party, I quote it in the book that Lenin said. I mean, Lenin obviously had his downside, but take him or leave him, Vladimir. The Red Terror and everything. Yeah, a bit of a misstep. But I mean, Lenin said that the Labour Party exists to dupe the workers, and I think that is true. That by finding Andy Burnham and this, that they are. I thought, we were that the con begins all over again. Really, that I think that there will be, I guess, either people will continue to believe in the Labour Party will continue, and get re-elected or whatever, or there will be the same process of disillusion that people felt with Starmer, it set progress back 5 years. I really felt that the Greens, and it is, we are on the left in a way obsessed with Palestine, but it's a barometer, I think, for decency. That if somebody, has the right, what we believe are the right attitudes on Palestine, then that they're sound, really. And I think that Burnham has said some stuff, but I suspect his cabinet is packed with Labour Friends of Israel. His special, I can't remember, his main advisor is an ex-chair of Labour Friends of Israel, and I think that he will do nothing about Palestine. And the Palestine is a barometer because it's a way to say that you will stand up to vested interests. You will take a chance. You will be brave. And I suspect if he does nothing on Palestine, he will do. Also on Palestine Action, on the disgraceful treatment of, the Filton Six. And, they've been arresting people today for holding up signs saying, I support Palestine Action, which I don't. Are
they like...
I do. But
in America, you got presidential pardons. Is there anything like that here? Has the prime minister ever pardoned anyone?
No. If he alters that, Starmer's vengeful treatment of Palestine protesters, then I believe that he might tackle vested interests on other matters. I suspect that he's not going to, and so. I think that that whole process of disillusion will begin again, really, and then it'll be another 5 years or whatever. And National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I think what I'd add to that is, because the question was kindly addressed to both, I'd say when you say division on the left, I don't, not sure if there even
Is that what you were asking about? I don't. Was that what you were asking about? Yeah. I assumed
what do you
were
think
talking
about division on the left? And I just don't consider the Labour Party left.
No.
So there is some division, I suppose. But left is a matter of perspective. If you're looking at it from the point of view of like reform, then yeah, Labour Party is way over there on the left. But if you're actually left wing, then you can see that Labour Party is nothing. It's just since they fucking kicked out all the left wingers anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's the right where the Conservative Party was in the 60s.
So what division on the left is there?
Unless
I
you were
guess
asking
it's
about
between like the
your
Green
party.
Party and the Socialist Workers and all that, but they all come together at these Palestine marches. They all come together on issues such as environment and equality, apart from fucking... See, and using Palestine as like a dowsing rod to find people you agree with is also dangerous, because just as there are like progressives apart from Palestine, you know, as you see, there are also people who support Palestine, but then if you dig a bit deeper, they're cunts as well. You know, who's that George top hat wearing twat?
George Galloway.
Galloway, thank you.
Splittist!
Yeah. I'm the division on the left.
Yeah, yo.
I'm the division on the
Linda
left.
will have you. When this goes out, my wife, Linda, I don't know if two of you know her here, she will, you're in so much trouble now.
Well, ask his
Saying
wife her
stuff like
opinion,
that.
and then...
Didn't
his manifesto basically say women should stay in the kitchen? Wasn't that part of his fucking manifesto?
Yes.
So fuck him, you know. Yeah, he went and like appeased all the Muslims.
What's your favourite film? Shut up.
School of Rock. Next question.
School of Rock.
It's a near perfect film. That and Back to the Future 2, they're both near perfect movies. And I really wish Full Metal Jacket is like my serious answer, you know, something like that.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 is brilliant.
Yeah,
It's a brilliant one.
that is the greatest film of all time. Really.
It's fucking good. It's pretty flawless as well. Yeah. What's your favorite Sylvester Stallone film?
What's it called?
Copland?
My Mama the Cop.
No, Stop or My Mum Will Shoot.
Stop or My Mum Will Shoot, yeah. Which he made with Estelle Getty, who was in The Golden Girls. And was...
That's been our show. No,
yeah, Stop
bringing it
or
back
My
round.
Mum Will Shoot, yeah.
Oh, great.
One of the things I did was, when I was on the set of The Golden Girls, Golden Pass, I actually... People used to... Because I can tap dance a little bit. People used to flatter me in this country, so I'd tap dance a bit. And people go, "Oh, you're so amazing!" So anyway, I did this on the set of, Golden Girls, Golden Path, and I mean these women had musicals written for them by Stephen Sondheim. They were so rude about my tap dancing. Estelle Getty, particularly Betty White. Everybody says Betty White's nice. She was fucking horrible about my tap dancing. Yeah.
We got time for another one or two. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Hello, Alexei.
Hi.
I've long been a fan of all the many and varied things you've done, but something fairly recently that you did I really enjoyed was Strangers on a Train. And I wondered if you had any memories on making that series.
Yeah. I'm kind of annoyed that they cancelled it after 3 seasons. It's partly, but it was partly because it came out, it was being commissioned by the comedy department, and it was a kind of orphan in a way. But again, it was, I loved doing that series. I know people liked it so much, and it's there's nowhere else you could do it apart from Radio 4. It was just a joy to do. It was very challenging though, because I used to say to people, it's like, you're doing a chat show, and we used to, I'd set up in we get a 4-seater usually in first class, with the table. Then I'd set up, and then the sound recorders would sit next to me and put microphones on the table, and then the people would come and sit facing me, but I used to say it was a chat show really, which went on for, took 4 hours to make or 5 hours, wherever we were going, in which you're constantly interrupted by announcements, which is even worse if you're in fucking Wales.
Get it twice as
To
much.
hear, see it, say it, sorted in fucking Welsh is a trial, really. But yeah, I love that show, and I feel. I mean, obviously, Sandwich Bar is the thing I do for Radio 4 that I'm, pleased with. But I did love Strangers on a Train very much, and it was a different. It was actually a different, aspect of me, really. That it was that. I mean, somebody said, I was fascinated to talk. I mean, I was fascinated to talk to people. I really, people. It was it was challenging because you had to find out in a few minutes what people's best story was and get to it very quickly. But I was genuinely fascinated to talk to everybody. I wasn't putting it on. I wasn't faking it. The producers originally wanted David Mitchell to do it, and we share an agent. And David Mitchell's agent said, "Fuck no, he'd be no good."
Oh, wow.
David would be terrible. Would have been terrible. And it was a lovely thing, and it was just getting to that part where it was sort of getting fixed in the language. Really, I understand why Radio 4 couldn't keep making it because of the budget cuts and stuff, but they seem to find money to some new iteration for Sue fucking Perkins, Mel Gidroy.
Why would you ever go to Barnsley? That's David doing it. I weld, I dwyd, I datrys.
Is that? Oh, you looked it up. See it say it's sorted in Welsh.
I got it. Oh, fuck me. This was a bad idea.
I weld, I ddweud, I ddatrys.
I dwyd. So you heard that million times.
Every
And
time.
I've had so many fucking emails, and I really didn't want to bring it up, but fuck it. Joe Wilkinson has nicked the idea, hasn't he?
Is he?
He's done a TV show called Training with Joe Wilkinson. Yeah, man.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker. On Channel 4. But he interviews celebrities on long train journeys. So it's not quite the same. He
Right.
wouldn't dare talk
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the common
public.
man.
Yeah.
He lives
Let's go
near
round to
him.
his fucking house. Kick his fucking head in. Motherfucker. What was the other part of the question? I've forgotten now. How was it? Oh, right. All right.
Birmingham? What you gonna do in Birmingham? Any other questions? We got time for a couple more. Yes, over here. This side are winning for questions, by the way. Have I missed anyone? Have I missed anyone on this side? At the very back. All right, I won't forget to get to you. So second row, Moira, third row, and then the very back, please. And then that'll be the show. Over here, Moira, over here. Guys, what did I say at the beginning? Hands up, nice and clear, yeah? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So, both as comedians, what makes you laugh in the modern day?
Oh. A little guy called Alexei Sayle. Ever heard of him?
He's fantastic. I hear
Yeah.
he's great.
Makes me laugh.
Oh, God, I should have...
I don't like stand-up comedy, and I do musical comedy, and I fucking hate musical comedy. And that's partly why...
It is terrible.
Yeah.
It is. Musical comedy is an abomination.
Yeah.
It is a fucking disgrace.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
But I do it well to prove the point. I'm the exception. Like, my songs last a minute. I do the joke and then the song ends. Whereas you see someone like Tim Minchin, bless his soul, sing the same punchline for 5 minutes. I'm like, that's not how you're stealing stage time then. But what makes me laugh? I like old. Oh fuck me, that's a really fucking annoying question. Sitcom. What sitcoms? I like Hacks. I've been watching Hacks, and that makes me laugh and cry, and I love all of that.
And she's very good on Palestine.
And she's very good on Palestine. She wore a Palestine T-shirt on the show, and I'm like, fuck yeah. But then the next scene, there was an advert for Klarna in the middle of them. But it's fine. It's like, fuck it. She's great. I've loved Hacks. I've really found that very funny.
It gets closer than to. It
feels real.
People will often make films about stand-up comedy with actors doing stand-up, and it never works. And that gets closest to genuinely replicating the stand-up, really, the life of the stand-up.
And I find the dynamic between like the younger comic and the older comic really relatable.
Yeah,
just realised.
I like
New York in June. How about you?
There's actually, there's a generational thing. There's Peter Richardson, who is the kind of moving spirit behind the comic strip. His son, Red Richardson, is a comedian, and
he's pretty good.
And he's pretty good. He's very funny, really. Yeah. And he's actually married to Rick Mayall's daughter as well, Rosie.
Oh my God, incestuous.
So it's it's nice. It's very moving, kind of. And he's funny. I mean, he's got the gift, I used to love Louis C.K. I don't know how I'd feel about him now, really. But I thought he was the greatest comedian I'd seen since. In the modern age, really, I thought he was amazing. I mean, Stuart Lee.
Stuart Lee's great. I saw a really funny. Is it bad form to just repeat someone else's joke?
No.
But they said after Louis C.K.'s downfall, he's now back touring the world and stuff. And he said it's a real come rags to riches story.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
All right, we're running out of time. I really also love really dumb comedy American podcasts. It's my guilty pleasure, and I love that shit as well. They're very
and Diane, we're doing another live podcast.
Yes, Diane Morgan.
Diane Morgan is a good
She's
friend
brilliant. I used to love that Charlie Brooker stuff way back in the day.
Yeah. Diane is really fantastic.
We're running low on time, so please, Moira, third row. Did you still have a question in the third row? Yes, please. Thank you for your question.
I think I've almost forgotten the question, actually.
I
wanted to say hello, Alexei, and I do empathise with you because my dad was in the Communist Party and I was in hospital having my tonsils out when the Cuban crisis happened, and it was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And I've been through lots of political groups,
the
Social
surgery
Workers Party, Labour Party, blah, blah, blah. And my question is, what do you think? I'm currently a member of the Green Party. What do you think about the Green Party?
I was very excited about the Green Party. I mean, I think that Zach Polanski is, he's everything that Burnham is not really. What he says is much more forthright, and he's not another kind of craven politician. I was very excited about the success of the Green Party, and I'm sort of upset that they've, at least in the short term, gone back to
the fire's dimmed a little bit. But, he wants to chop Nigel Farage's head off, doesn't he?
Yes.
I know.
It's garbage.
Just night about it.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Still got the mic.
Yeah, do a tight 10 minutes.
Bless them. The Green Party are awesome. And,
No, I think there's a lot. I mean, I'll tell you what, we interviewed on the podcast a few weeks ago a woman called Molly Crabapple, who's written a really interesting book about the Bund. The Bund were the Jewish socialists, started in the late 19th century and obviously went through to the Second World War. And they were the other great force in Jewish thought. There was Zionism and Herzl and all that. And then there was the Bund. And these were Jewish socialists who said, we don't want to go to some other country and dispossess the indigenous population there. Here is where we this is our home, is where we live, and this is where our fight is. And in a sense, obviously, I mean, you know, they lost that bet in a sense that they were all more or less exterminated, you know, during the Second World War. But Molly Crabapple was also a member of Democratic Socialists of America, and you've seen recently that that, you know, Mamdani is obviously the mayor of New York, is a socialist, and is they're having a lot of success. That they're also in Wisconsin. I think that I don't know the American political system, but I think the senator is, and you've got this guy Abdul El Sayed in Michigan, and AIPAC, the Israel lobby, is already. This is a primary. This is just where Democrats select their candidate. It's not even the general election, but AIPAC, the Israel lobby, have already pumped in $60 million to back up his opponent, an insane woman called Haley Stevens. But and there's all across the United States. I never thought I would say this really, but socialism seems to be moving ahead of here. The Democratic Socialists of America seem to be having tremendous success. Well, one thing that she said, which I thought was really interesting, was she said that the meetings that they have are joyful, that they have music, and it's people meet and fall in love, and the meetings are not that terrible. You know, when you're in the Labour Party or in a lot of left parties, that the meetings themselves, which is the main vehicle, are just torture. I mean, they're awful. Just left-wing meetings are just terrible. And so I think that one of the solutions has got to be that, and you see, there's a group in Camden, where I live, called Camden People's Alliance, Andrew Feinstein, who stood in the general election and halved Starmer's majority, and there's never ever before been a member of parliament who was elected to be prime minister their majority's not gone up, and Andrew halved it. And Camden People's Alliance was originally kind of planning to be become the kind of Camden branch of your party, and then obviously that didn't really come off. So at the moment they're staying, but again they have this idea that also that the meetings should be, they should be a nice thing to be at. They should be not tedious. People are like, if you talk for too long, you cut off, you're encouraged to make your point, stuff like that. And I think that has got to be, that you can't just look at the ideology. You have to look at, the left has to look at the way that it arranges itself, really. And like the way you arrange meetings and stuff has to be a vital part of that, I think. And we've got to find a new way to do that. And also, to have real democracy.
A few months ago, I went to a Green Party rave.
Yes,
in Heaven.
Yeah,
in Clapham Junction. I was fucking sick. And then they got up and talked about politics, and then they were like, "And there's DJ Bumper Clark, come on!" It was start fucking raving again. It's amazing.
So I think people are saying that you've got to make the actual business of politics, that itself has got to be, joyful. It's got to be enjoyable, really. And I think that's a crucial part of.
We've run so over time, but I did promise one last question, if you don't mind. Right at the very back, Moira. Really, give Moira a hand, please, over here. Roaming mic, Moira, please. Moira with the roaming mic. Thank you very much. And thank you to the Ropetackle team, Simon on the decks back there, Amy running the show tonight. Thank you, everyone, for having us. Thank you. And thank you for coming out. Oh, this question better be good.
Better get me off with a laugh. I like to get off with a laugh. So we're going to stay here till I get a huge fucking... Until I get a huge wave of laughter. I'm not going until I get that, really. So what's your question?
Hi, Alexei.
Hi.
I was just remembering back when you did that song about Mussolini in the style of George Formby. My mum was a massive fan of George Formby. And George Formby, one of his tunes was played at my mum's funeral. And I'm just wondering if you've got any current musical influences. And
That took a swear.
And why would anybody be interested?
How the fuck is that? I'm going to get a laugh with that. Well, George Formby, I was sort of kind of Lancashire half-wit, wasn't he, really? He was, when I'm cleaning windows, so turned out nice again, auntie.
We were playing Tori Amos for the audience as they were filing in.
Yeah, I like Tori Amos. And we talked about me recording some of her songs, didn't we?
Yeah.
No. What do I like music-wise? Six Music. I listen to Six Music a lot. And they always have to listen to they always get they don't like Six Music. They always like the people checking. They always seem to be making a vegetable lasagna, don't they? They say, "Hi, Lauren, it's Dean and Dana from Hampton Bridge. We're just making a vegetable lasagna, and then we're going to see the chronic illnesses at the old leather dildo factory in." Hi, Craig. Just making a vegetable lasagna. But yeah, Six Music.
When we met, when we were in talks to create this podcast, and I asked you, what kind of music do you want for the intro and outro without a beat? You said hip hop.
Yeah, I thought that, yeah. Then I hadn't listened to the lyrics for about 2 decades. And then I listened to a lot of the hip hop. It's quite problematic, isn't it, really? I hadn't really figured that out. Good Day. I do like Good Day. It's a good day. I do say, yeah.
Today. Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Good day. I didn't have to use my AK. Nobody got killed today in South Central LA. It was a good day. Today was a good day. That's my life. My life is like that. I didn't have to use my AK. I have a rich and vivid fantasy life, which bears no relation to.
Well, Alexei, have you had a good time back in Shoreham?
Yes, it's been lovely. Thank you very much I hope you've had a good time as well. It's a kind of weird, kind of tightrope walk to do a live podcast. It's an interesting kind of it's your challenge really is to come out with virtually nothing really. And to fail to weave comedy gold out of that nothing. It's really challenging. It's well, you're a lovely audience. I mean, thank you for this show.
Showing them this.
Yeah, you keep showing me. I've got no.
Someone sent a picture of Alexei.
Me and Lady Penelope.
From the Thunderbirds. And Alexei said, I have no fucking clue where the fuck that was and when I met her. How can you not remember meeting Lady Penelope?
It's like, at least I said to Linda a few months ago, I said, thank fuck, at least I never met Jimmy Savile. And within 5 minutes.
A photo of you and him?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. I've got no memory of that.
Shoreham-on-Sea, thank you very, very, very much. That's been our show. Simon, hit the music.
You've been listening to the Alexei Podcast. This show is produced and edited by Talal Karkouti. Music by Tarbush Records. Thanks to Audio Boom for hosting us. Please keep your emails coming in at alexeisaylepodcast@gmail.com. Goodbye.